Coming up, find out if you will be in the dark this weekend.
And BTC back in the hands of Bahamians.
Plus, going down Burma Road, let's don't lick nobody. Rodney Butler is honored. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
BTC now back with Bahamians. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kendino Knowles.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. It's a deal sealed with the Bahamian people in mind. After months of negotiations, the government today delivered the majority of ownership of the Bahamas Telecommunications Company back into the hands of the Bahamian people.
Well, come the new deal, that is, which came after intense but cordial negotiations, was led by a team of Bahamian professionals and their chairman, businessman Franklin Wilson. What's of particular note is the newly created opportunities that will be birthed from this latest agreement. Clint Watson has a closer look at what the deal means for Bahamians.
The government of the Bahamas has defied many odds and has achieved what some predicted would be impossible. After announcing earlier this year the intent to take back the majority ownership of BTC for the Bahamian people, and months of negotiating and finalizing the deal, that mission is now accomplished.
This was really an exercise to reposition BTC as a significant and responsible player in our economy. This is a driver of economic growth in this country. That's what we need, a successful BTC. There are occasions when the country wins. Every so often, the country wins. And the second truth is, this is one such occasion.
Chairman of the government negotiating team, Franklin Wilson, laid the facts out. The deal didn't cost a dime and would also now help the government achieve its goal of fiscal and tax reform with a new stream of revenue. BTC now becomes a strategic partner in nation building. And here's how it works. Cable and wireless moves from owning 51% to now owning 49%. The government, together with the new BTC Foundation, which is set up to benefit Bahamians, moves from owning 49% to 51%. The government will appoint the council to run the foundation. CEO of Cable and Wireless, Phil Bentley, says he's happy with the deal and says the focus is now on upgrading BTC and offering the best service possible. The company hopes to eliminate drop calls, increase internet speeds, and invest more than $170 million to fund these upgrades. Then there's another benefit that will see a new partnership with the Broadcasting Corporation.
We'll be launching BTC TV shortly, giving our customers choice and value for money. We dare to dream that you can check your bills and pay online through our BTC app. In short, we dare to dream of a new BTC, setting new standards of excellence, upgrading our networks, adding TV and entertainment, listening to our customer feedback, making things better every day.
Bentley added that if the government wants Cable and Wireless to put the bulk of its investment into the Bahamas rather than other countries in the region, then the pot must be sweetened with concessions, fair regulations in the face of competition, and lower taxes. He says it can't be any longer about Bahamas for the Bahamians. Prime Minister Perry Christie says this deal serves the best interests of the Bahamian people.
And what we want to ensure, that as long as we're shareholders, that everyone in the private sector has the right to compete, but we want to ensure that we do the very best we can to reach the entire Bahamian population. And I'm looking forward to, as early as December, you're beginning your trial runs with television, and I'm understanding that you're going to break out in places like Andros and Eleuthera, and I look forward to that. BTC is not going to be a company that limits itself to the Bahamas.
As a gesture of good faith, BTC has pre-funded the foundation by putting $1 million of advanced dividends into the account for the Bahamian people. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas Electricity Corporation advises its customers in New Providence that it is experiencing challenges in its generation network that have and will continue to result in periods of supply interruption for residents in New Providence. BEC says crews are conducting emergency repairs on 2 engines and hope to have at least 1 repaired by late Friday. The other may require additional time to complete repairs. In the meantime, efforts are being made to ensure that outages are not for any inordinate time. The corporation apologizes to its customers impacted by these periods of supply interruption and ensures them that best efforts are being made to control the frequency and durations of these outages. BEC will continue to provide updates on the progress of repairs in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Talking education now, one school vice principal is saying educators must now be concerned with their own safety in the classroom and must always be attuned to brewing trouble, as schools are a microcosm of their surrounding communities and as such are being impacted by the escalating crime problem in the Bahamas. While commending the school policing program, which she says has made a difference, T.A. Thompson Vice Principal Betty Christie says many of the disputes that take place in school start in the community, and students take their vendettas out in the school environment.
Now the problem is that a lot of our schools, they're open, and so on the weekends or early that morning, children can come, put whatever weapon they want around, pick it up later. Gangs or this corner, this group, and then when they catch somebody, fight. And you know what happens? You caught me, all right, now you're by yourself, I have my group, I'm going to beat you. And it doesn't matter where it takes place. They just want to get back at the person, and that's a serious problem.
At T.A. Thompson, Mrs. Christie says the school has undertaken several initiatives to combat violence and refocus students' attention on education. She says she's also proud that the school year begins always with a church service.
We just try to use all the resources. Teachers try to be creative. We have level 1 infractions we have teachers deal with. When it gets beyond that, it becomes administration. This year we're trying at T.A. Thompson, we're going to try something new where we don't have to suspend kids to be on the outside. And so it's something that where we need all persons on board, and hopefully that'll be something that'll work, that we can curb our children. Also, you speak to them about the error of their ways. Understand, why did you do this?
The Gaming Board now has a new chairman. Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe confirmed to ZNS News that Tara Ramming has been given the post, which took effect yesterday. Ramming replaces former Gaming Board Chairman Dr. Andre Rollins, who was fired a week ago over comments made in the House of Assembly on the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party, which Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis categorized as out of line. On Tuesday, Gaming Board employees protested, claiming they've not been paid overtime, holiday pay, or overdue increments. Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe, who has responsibility for Gaming Board, says they are looking to have the matters addressed in short order.
The employees have every right to stand up for their rights. We had met with John Pinder, and he knows that we're dealing with the matter, but you know, that's a part of what we have to do. Those are situations that we met and agreements that were made before we came to office. We did not meet the required payment last year, but we're going to take care of that. When people are right, they're right. We have nothing to do but to fix it, and we're fixing it.
Well, the new gaming legislation is designed to make the Bahamas more competitive as a gaming destination. That from Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe, who has responsibility for the gaming industry. And he says right now they're ensuring that all aspects of this landmark bill are in order, including the taxation aspects, before it heads to Parliament next week. CEO of FML Group of Companies, Craig Flowers, believes government is on the right track, but realizes it has taken a long time to reach this point. However, once this crucial piece of legislation has been passed, Flowers believes it will change the industry for the better. He believes it will cause those in the business to up their game and operate at a higher international standard.
If you look at what's going on in Macau and Singapore and Hong Kong, generally you're seeing changes being made. And we have to make sure that we are competitive with the world. And if we don't believe that we should worry about the East, then just look at what's going on in Florida, look at what's going on in the Caribbean. We want to make sure that everywhere they'll know that the Bahamas is a competing destination. So if we're offering you the sun, sand, the sea, if we're offering you sports tourism, if we're offering you religious tourism and medical tourism and all the components of tourism, fishing and everything else, then why not offer you as well gaming? So whilst we will be taking care of what we will be calling the gaming houses, we're also going to ensure that land-based casinos up their game and be able to offer new games to the world.
I think we're going to find out that the gaming industry now is a business. The accountability, the transparency, the legal aspects of the things that we should do here, it's going to be a strain on a lot of us, paying taxes, paying other dues and other fees, is certainly going to implement a new way for us. How many of us? I would venture to say that several of us will close, and that was one of the reasons why, from the onset, I've always advocated that if you really want these types of operation to be, I won't use the word shut down, but certainly to be contained so that it can be managed properly, you'd have to regulate it.
Staff at the General Post Office, East Hill Street, expected to be relocated to the 3rd floor of the building soon as renovations are now underway.
President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, John Pinder, said the exercise is necessary to ensure the safety of postal workers.
They have renovated one of the things, the 3rd floor of the post office, where they intend to relocate a number of the staff. But the main area where the sorting of the mail has to take place has still not been, very little they can do with that. They're still in the process, my information is they're in the process of still trying to renovate a building to relocate those staff to a new location. They tried to put them back on some extra hours because the mails were being behind in sorting, but we cannot agree for our members to still work under those conditions. Not safe. It's not safe at all.
Concerns have been ongoing about hazardous working conditions in the main post office building, including crumbling infrastructure and mold. And as a result, Pinder says staff will remain on work rotation shifts.
And I'm pleased to also say that I understood the minister also supported the fact that because the environment is not safe, they must remain on the half day until we get this matter resolved. So we hope that the government will certainly give this some urgent attention so that the general public, who we are now asking to bear with us, I know we really don't want to inconvenience anybody, but safety is utmost important to our membership and to working people.
Age ain't nothing but a number, but Ronnie Butler gets better like fine wine and gets honored.
And also tonight, the high school sports season about to kick off. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight live.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Shell Quality Fuels.